Figure B3-15 is deceptively simple. The problem is with these intersecting angle geometry, we're going to have to get a little creative. So one of the rules is that if we make a positive extrusion into a positive extrusion and the extrusions are merged, we end up with one solid body. If I go back and I make the geometry separate solid bodies, then I have an accumulated mass where there is a common volume. So I really want to look at creating this side geometry, extruding it out, and then from the bottom we can create a sketch with this geometry and extrude it up. And visually, it looks like we should be able to cut this way, and we could generate this kind of U-shaped geometry without any problem. But it comes a little more complex to get this angle in and not generate any compound angles. So there's an easy way and a harder way. So let's go with the easy way. We'll fly that out of the way. We are in metric, so new part metric. And I want this to look like theirs, so I'm going to go to the right plane. And one of the things that I like to do is set a rectangle, and when I go back to select, we can remove the horizontal relation off of one side, and it makes it to where I can pull an angle. So rather than drawing those four lines with the line tool, I can just go right in and remove one relation and pretty much have the same thing. Oh yeah, and this one says the units are in millimeters, but everything sure looks like inches. So if you draw this in inches or you draw it in millimeters, it still doesn't really matter. If it's in millimeters, it's going to be really small. 3.5 millimeters works out to what, 100 and I'll call it 140 thousandths ish. So we will place that one, 0.63, 1.63, and we're going to extrude this out. If it's mid-plane, I guess I'll leave it in mid-plane. It's not helping, it's not hurting anything. Really understanding the directions and the desired result, the origin at the bottom center, bottom end of either one. There may be some advantage as we get more comfortable when we take this over into the assembly. There may be a desired result. All right, so I know that the origin is the front of the part, but if I lose my perspective, I can kind of rotate over. And when I draw this line, if I'm in sort of that rotated view, I can get the angle going in the right direction. And then Control 5, we're looking at the top, Control 6. And let me just mention, if I hit the space bar, it's also going to give me the box. And in the box with the orientation, we're also going to be able to see those front, back, left, right, top, bottom, and then the isometric, and somewhere in there is normal too. And each one is going to have that control plus the number that's associated to it. So align, and I can draw. I can also do the convert entities. So whichever one you see, if the geometry is a little more complicated, then convert entities is a pretty big advantage. If it's a couple of lines, it's a toss-up as to which way to go with that one. So 1.75. And then I need 2 more lines. So L on the keyboard will put me into the line command. And we'll drag these out and kind of follow that inference, look for those yellow boxes. And we are 1.25 on the back and 1 inch, and I got a degree, so that means that that one did not. Let's go Control 6, and I will Control Z, and that removed the dimension. And I don't have any mechanism to change that dimension from degrees to inches, so we just delete it and reapply it, and it becomes 1 inch. All right, so if I go into my features and extrude, we're going to take this up 2.5 inches. The selected contours for the box, not going to be mid-plane this time. We want to go blind in condition, 2.5, and then I need to reverse it. We hit OK, go Control 7 to look at the isometric, and we have the geometry. So what I was mentioning is in the mass properties, I have one solid body, and let's just check that, and the merge result is checked. So if I go to the mass properties, we are in metric, so we have 42.87, volume, density, mass of 0.01 grams. The thing's really small, so I may not even be able to see a difference if we uncheck the merge. So at times we're going to want to uncheck the merge, but for the most part, make sure that it stays the same. So the difference in this overlapping volume underneath those pieces, since these are now 3 separate solid bodies, we have almost doubled the mass at 2.02. And if we took that out more decimal places, it probably wouldn't be that dramatic. But edit the feature, merge result. Oh, I do want to, let's just do the fly out here. And solid bodies 1, extrude 1, extrude 2. And we have those separate items that we can do something with. So I'll edit the feature one more time, merge the result, and then we can save this. A3 Chp3-15.